Everybody's ready?
Ready to rock.
Okay. Where'd we leave off? Let's go-
Outside the prison, I think.
Perfect.
Back door.
I just wanted to see who remembered, because you guys said, oh, we don't remember.
I told you we all remembered. It was 100%.
Uh-huh.
I just remember buying a cool new hammer and then leveling up.
You guys did level up, yes. Everybody finished?
He is.
All right.
I didn't.
Oh!
Totally kidding.
You also didn't add your inspiration.
It's the who? Oh,
I will right now.
I just did.
I have never used that.
Wait, what does inspiration do?
You get a advantage on a roll. It could be an attack roll, an initiative roll, a saving throw.
You can just use that like once every long rest or something?
You
Just
use it
once.
Once.
Yeah, and then so you gain an inspiration point by playing your character really well, like actually, playing the character, playing the way
Like-
that the character should be played.
Ah, I see. So it's gifted by the DM, and you
Yeah.
can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is not the same as the inspiration that I give you. I can give you.
That makes me want to sing, like Peter Cetera.
Sure. Yeah, the inspiration that I can hand out. Yeah, the inspiration that I hand out is only a die 6 that you add to your rolls.
Ah, okay.
The GM inspiration is a little more powerful.
Unless you roll double crit failures, and then
Then we'll see how nice your DM is. Alright, so, yes, you guys are at the back door of the... What is it? Okay. Well, you're not there yet, you're just on the outskirts of the prison.
Is it daylight?
Yeah, you have to move the map down.
Yeah, is it daylight though?
Yes.
Okay.
Why? Can you not see?
No, I can see. It's just I can see really far, and there's a big black box in the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, there's gonna be... Because that's part of the map that you can't see unless you're there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's where the dragon's sitting.
No. Okay.
Panic.
What are you guys doing?
Well, do we think we ought to go super sneaky stealthy mode up towards this, or walk right up the front door?
I mean, there's 4 guards just sitting right there.
Yeah. Who's our chief negotiator?
I think that's me.
Go negotiate.
Hello.
Well, you're not a known quantity here.
Well, I don't know. He used to be a prisoner.
I was not a prisoner, actually.
He wasn't a prisoner.
Oh, you were just here.
Yeah.
He was the guy that was hired to do our job when they figured we failed.
I was visiting. So do we
Visiting.
go where we came in, or we left last time, or do we head over here to this front entrance, do you think? Walk in the
Was
front
it
door?
the north side of the prison that we left last time?
Yeah.
We had to
We had a boat.
climb or the elevator thing.
Right.
I'm gonna say we go in whichever direction involves the least amount of fighting 10 guards as possible.
Well, there's only
fine.
4 at this door.
Let's lure them away and dress up as the guards.
I'm not opposed to this action, but let's see how this works first. So
Well, that only takes care of 4 of us. Then there's only 4 guards. We need two of us to do something else.
Pretend to be prisoners, perhaps?
Ooh.
Wookie.
hello, I'm here to hand myself in. I don't think that'll work either. I mean, maybe, but
Work that smooth, slithering tongue of yours.
So what's the plan?
I say we walk up and pretend that we need to.
We have an appointment.
We have an appointment with the warden.
Okay.
She is expecting us. Though I don't remember her name.
Somebody remind me, what was the mission she sent us on?
She did not
Warden?
send us on a mission.
We had a mission to come here and find out more about what's his name that left us.
Correct, and then we found out. Yeah, we found out that the warden was.
Valish.
The warden was acting suspicious, so we ended up asking Captain Arlagloth, I think. We ended up asking her some information about Marta is the name of the warden. Where we found out that she had some friends, a dwarf fighter named Blax. And he had to. Did he die, or did he have a friend who died?
He died.
He died because he was possibly too drunk. I have notes about that.
Well, maybe instead of saying we're here to see the warden, maybe we ought to see the captain to see if she's got any more information about strange going-ons with warden.
Well, the
Yeah.
captain's back in East Haven.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's.
Oh.
So we were kind of coming back to inspect the warden, I assume, or to try to figure out what is going on with the warden. Like maybe
Right.
a different person, or maybe under
Yeah.
control of some sort.
Because when we told the captain, you guys remember, we told the captain we have suspicions. And these are things we've heard. And the captain was like, nope, that's bullshit. You're making it up. You're bullshit.
Mhm.
Go away. So now we're here to get answers.
All right. Well, then we need to go see her in some form or fashion.
What if she denies us entry? I'm just trying to think of all the scenarios. If she denies us access, then I can definitely get us in the door. But
I have an idea
Mhm.
for that, but it's going to have to wait to see what happens.
okay, so I say we walk up to the guards and tell them we have an appointment with the warden, or we would like to have a conversation with the warden. I don't say we have an appointment, because if we don't have an appointment, then we're basically lying and you would reject us.
Sounds good. Then.
I could see if I could change the weather to make it more harsh, so we can say, "Hey, we need to get out of the storm."
I mean,
You still don't know how it is going to turn out. For all you know, it could turn into sunny weather and clear days. So,
Well, yeah, but we can say that everything's melting. We need to get inside.
or
You
perhaps
just keep
sunburn.
trying until it goes wrong, right?
what if
No
it starts-
take.
What if it starts raining and then we all get frozen?
Not the dwarves. We're hardy folk.
Internal furnaces.
We'll save the weather for some other time.
All right.
Let's approach the gates and See if we can gain access.
Let Tyr be with us.
Hey, Orion, where are you at?
I'm right behind you.
Oh, now you are.
Yeah, I think I'm a little drunk.
Good day,
You or
sirs.
your character?
Well, the ground seems to be a little woozy. I think it's the app.
Hello.
Hello, I was muted, sorry.
Uh, we are here to see the warden.
What's your business?
I believe that is between us and the warden.
You see one of the guards eyeing you guys all up and whispering to the other. And the one guard steps over to the side and says, "Do you have anything that you need to relay to the warden?"
I gather back with my group of people and say under my breath, "Do we say we found Vlax?"
Wait, Black the dwarf?
Yes.
I thought he was dead.
I know.
I mean, I suppose.
Maybe say you have information about him. Not that we found him.
Sure, let's do that. That sounds
Save
like
your
a
pet.
plan. I walk up to the guard. We have information about Vlax.
You see the guard look to the guards on his left and the guard on his right. And he says, please step back and give me a few minutes."
Very well.
And he disappears inside. As the other guard leaves, one of the other guards steps in front of the door. They're all still very weary. They're all eyeing you as if they know who you are, but they can't put their finger on it.
You may remember us. We were here before. We saw the warden, and
Oh, probably not a good idea.
you know, I mean, we talked to her, and everything was cool. We that's we wanted to come back and tell her
Until we
about-
went to go talk to the prisoner.
Yeah.
Well, then he knocked everybody out, and then we had to chase him. Wasn't it?
What race are these?
Can you roll persuasion, please?
Well, I'm not really trying to persuade anybody. I'm just answering the questions that are being flung at me.
He's whispering.
Yo. Well,
What is?
I assume
What
we
are
were
the
talking to
ra-
ourselves, not the guards.
Yeah, what is the race of these guards?
Human.
Yeah, and keep in mind too that I'm 80 feet away from these guys. I would have to be yelling this for them to hear it.
That's fair. And what are you guys doing while you're waiting for the other guy to come?
I am, besides talking to the people, or talking to the group, just kind of, I have my map pulled out and I'm examining the different locations because I don't have anything else to do.
Wind whispers to the party out of earshot. So when we do meet Marta, what are we supposed to tell her about our sudden information on blacks? Anybody have any ideas?
It's a very good question.
We don't want to be caught in a sticky situation if she asks.
no, this is the lizard's show. He's the one who came up with this cock and bull story
What is it that we do know about Flax?
that he's dead.
And a dwarf.
Sir, the net.
Yes, he died in battle. I don't know if we ever found out if the warden knew, like, the warden was informed that he died in battle. I don't know if there was a funeral, because I'm thinking that potentially there's, like, he might still be alive, or, I don't know. I guess what I was thinking is, if the warden doesn't seem to care, then we know that something is up. But I assume that the warden would care about somebody who was a friend of theirs before they became the warden. I got it. So I sit down and I grab a piece of parchment on my pack and I start writing up like a deed or an ownership deed for some land that has his name on it, with Flax's name on it.
What are you doing, Tima?
I am creating property.
Oh, I see what you are doing.
Oh, good old-fashioned ruse. Tink will assist you with that.
You guys notice the one guard step out and he points at Tima and says, "Please step forward."
Okay. Put the paper back into my pack and step forward.
The warden is busy at the minute. She did invite you guys into our suites. I believe you guys had been here before. So you would know which ones I'm talking about. So you guys can follow me in.
All right.
So
Sounds good.
He points to the door that's in front of him and he says, "Please step through there." Nope.
One to the right.
Yeah.
Okay, the one on the right, not the one ahead. Okay.
Yeah. And he pokes his head through and he says, "This guard here will show you where to go."
Excellent, thank you.
He just nods. And closes the door behind him. You guys
Okay,
are
sir, and I bow to him.
you guys are staying in the suites?
Unlike what we did last time.
Yes, we are.
Please. Please follow me. And then he steps through the door. Your rooms are just down that way. As he points down the hallway. Excuse me, sir. Yes.
Do we, Tink whispers, do we want to go into rooms alone individually?
These look a lot like cells.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Do the
Let's
doors
at
have
least-
do the doors have locks on them?
The door's locked from the inside.
Okay, I will go to this room over here, I guess, to the right.
Maybe keep two to a room at least.
Yeah, let's do that. Take
I'm all
in with
alone.
Ivar.
Well, I think I'm gonna take a nap.
Go ahead, my man. I'll keep an eye on the door while you're napping.
Ivar finds a place in the corner, sits down, and pulls his cloak over his head.
Gwen's
It
just
starts-
standing in the hallway.
It's unsure if she wants to go into a room.
I open the door and I say, I think it's safe.
All right. You still have that note.
I do. Then I pull it out of the backpack and unroll it. Show it to Gwen. Say, I believe this looks like an appropriate forgery.
Who exactly is this from? Or who do you say wrote this?
Let's find a good spot. Good question.
I just want to be prepared.
Yeah. I'm going to say it is for a building in East Haven that was given to him. Though he may not have known about it.
Do you suspect that Marta would inquire after this land or want to obtain it? Or something?
I'm sorry,
she
say
knew.
that again?
Do you think that Marta would have interest in this land if she knew?
Possibly.
I sure hope it works.
Again, like I think my biggest concern is how she reacts to the news rather than what it is that she be given. So I could give her the deed to this building, this house, but if she doesn't care about it, I feel like that might be saying something about how she felt, or maybe her reaction to something that belongs to Flax. That's where I'm going with this. I don't know how it's gonna work out, but we'll see.
It's a plan, I guess, suppose.
Yeah.
Better than nothing.
You guys each hear a knock on your doors.
I open the door.
Yo, Ivar, you're here.
I'm awake. I'm awake.
The warden is here.
Very well. Lead on. I'm following. Ooh, going up.
Yeah, you guys are going in. He just stepped back. He's just there to tell you she's there.
This is a lot of guards.
Yes, it is.
And whatever that thing is.
The one in the middle, that's the warden.
Oh,
And he's talking about the funny looking green things.
well, no, the thing with horns and red skin. That's what the warden looked like? Oh.
It's my understanding you guys would like to talk. Would you like to do it here, or would you like to go to my office?
I pull out the paper and unroll it, and I say, I understand you knew of Lex.
You kind of see her eyes, they kind of glaze over. And she just stares at you.
Okay. I have a deed to some property that he owned, and I understand that you were old friends. If you want to talk about that here, we can talk about it here, or if you'd like to go in your office, we would do that too. I leave that up to you.
Could you please follow me to my office?
Sure. I will follow her at a distance. And while we're walking, I think I can do this without making a noise. Yeah, I'll follow her at a distance. I'll whisper a message spell. It's a cantrip. I can do it as many times as I want, but I'll whisper to each person and be like, not real, is what I'll say.
Alright.
Walk through the door. Is that what you replied to me, Alarian?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll give you another whisper. It'll be like, we didn't know him.
Oh, yeah. What?
Wait, where'd she go?
She went. You guys just go straight up when you get out that door. And yes, there's guards everywhere.
Excuse me.
Let me leave that
Excuse
guy.
me.
There you go.
Excuse me? Excuse me?
Excuse me. Excuse me. Pardon me. Coming through.
Excuse me and excuse me. Breakfast didn't sit well.
You just fart in the hallway.
It's gonna be between Alarian and any of the prisoners.
I crop dusted as I went by.
Ugh.
I will make
It
you
is a
guys-
dwarf's constitution.
Sorry, did the warden say something?
No, it was me. I just said I'll move you guys in a second.
Okay.
So then you guys gotta go up these stairs that are in the middle here. So if you guys just want to go there, I can pull you guys to where you should
There's
be.
our old friend. How's your eye?
You see him step
Cough,
back.
cough. We don't know him. Nudge.
Alright. Try to do this. 1, 2, 3. And there you go. And the one guard says, in her office,
Which is
That's-
this middle door?
the top door. Oh, Tink, you gotta move. That's
As I
where she should be standing. Yeah.
walk past the room, like, good day. Good day. I will approach the warden,
Mm-hmm.
holding out the paperwork that I drew up. So yes, we've come across some information that Flax had owned property. I don't know if he was aware of it, but we were informed that you might have an interest in it.
So the warden's sitting at her desk right now, right? So you're standing in front of it. You see her open the drawer and start... It's almost like she's flipping through a bunch of papers. And you hear her mutter to herself, "Where is it? I can't find this." And
Where's what?
You see her look up at you and say, and she goes back to what she's doing, just like trying to find what she's looking for. And she pulls out another piece of paper and she puts it down in front of Tima and she says something similar to this. And it is a deed to a house that, oh, what's his freaking name? Ew. Sorry, Vlax. Vlax has given to her when he was dying, and on it shows the location, the location you see at the bottom that it was signed over to Marta. And she says, if you don't mind, I would like to compare these.
Very well. This may not be for the same location, but if I understand correctly, he was a warrior, so he may have been granted locations, but whatever. So I'll roll out the paper on at her desk.
And she starts muttering to herself. It's almost as if she's talking to somebody, but you can't quite make out what she's saying. All of a sudden, you notice like this switch goes off in her, and she just starts speaking Dwarvish. So we have a few dwarfs. All of you should understand Dwarvish. And what you hear coming from her is, it's not right, it's not right, it's not right. And you see her pull out from underneath of the desk a bottle of wine, and she just takes a big swig of it and sets it down and continues mumbling to herself in Dwarvish. Is there any of you that don't speak Dwarvish?
I do not.
I don't.
I don't.
Yeah, Tink looks at Ivar and Jared and does that raised eyebrow look like, something's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ivar whispers under his breath so Illyrian can hear. If she says something's not right, she doesn't seem right. Something's not right.
Well, I don't hear that, but I hear her talking in some other language. I could possibly maybe recognize it as Dwarven, but I can't understand it. I'll say, is something wrong?
He looks up at you, raises an eyebrow, and speaks Dwarvish, and she says, "You."
I just don't say anything.
I mean, you
I
wouldn't
look at her
understand her.
Yeah, I know. I just look at her confused.
She takes another swig of the wine bottle that she has, slams it on the desk, opens her drawer, and she starts looking for something. As she's doing that, you notice that there's papers that are just falling out of the desk as she's carelessly going through the drawer. Not really caring about the papers that are falling on the ground. And she says,
Can I pick up some papers and just quickly glance at them and read them if I can? While I say, "Oh, sorry, you dropped this," and I'll pick them up and put them on her desk.
yeah. In Dwarvish, she continues to mumble to herself, but this time you guys can make out her saying, "I was a great warrior. What is this?"
Ivar steps forward and addresses her in Dwarvish. You were a great warrior once, ma'am? Can you clarify this?
You can tell the look on her face is different than when you first arrived. She looks quite angry. And she looks at you and she says, "You don't know what you're talking about. Nobody said I was a great warrior." And she continues going through the papers, and more papers are falling on the ground. Go ahead.
I'm going to not just like intentionally walk away, just kind of pretend like I'm going to let her investigate her desk and kind of walk back around the room to everybody else here.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of lean into, I guess, Tank and Gwen, maybe Ilarion if you can hear me as well. Be like, do we need to bump this up a level? And I whisper, I don't say it out loud.
I mean, she's not being violent or anything. It's just she's confused about something.
I can't understand what she's saying.
It sounds like she's of two personalities. One minute she's the warden, and another minute she's somebody else, a dwarf.
I can suggest that she tell us the truth. I don't know how that's going to play out.
Is she actually a dwarf or another race?
She's human, isn't she?
Yes.
Okay.
Or she appears to us to be human.
I assume this other personality is dwarvish based on the way she's speaking dwarvish. It's flawless.
Well,
Is it
best
flawless?
friend was dwarvish, so she
It
probably
is.
learned the language.
Okay.
You see her slam the drawer shut, pick up the bottle of wine, and just chug it all down. When she's done, she just drops the bottle on the floor and looks around and says, "I'm in no mood for a meeting."
Well, Flax, I don't particularly care what you're in a mood for right now. You're going to talk to us.
You see the warden's eyes open really big and say, "What did you call me?" in Dwarvish.
Oh, poop. I wouldn't have understood what she was saying anyway, so I need to back that up.
Yeah.
So instead of that, I'm going to just say to the group, it seems to me we're talking to blacks right now.
I immediately turn around. I'm casting suggestion on her. She'll have to do a check. My suggested course of activity is that you tell us what's going on here. What are you covering up? That'll be a 15 DC. I think it's wisdom.
I was just trying to figure it out.
Yeah, wisdom save throw.
Yeah.
Why is it only 15? Should be 16.
I don't know.
Should be 16.
16.
That's my spell save, yeah. I don't know why it's not updated.
She got 16.
She saved.
Okay. So nothing happens if she saves things. What failed save? Okay.
Yeah, just nothing happens.
Okay. As you guys are all standing around staring at the warden, she's kind of eyeing each and every one of you up, but it's not like in a malicious way. She's just, it kind of looks like she's trying to remember certain things, and she looks at Ivar and says, you were in the Great War in Dwarvish.
I've been in, after 150 years of service, I've been in many wars. Which Great War? Are you talking about the Great War? Yes, I was. How about you?
You can see her carefully trying to choose the words that she says next. And she says, not I. My companion.
Your companion?
But your companion was a soldier, no?
Yes.
Ah, I was a soldier too. So you and your companion have that in common.
Gwen, you don't speak Dwarvish, so you won't understand.
So tell us, where is your companion?
Again, you see the warden like very carefully trying to choose the words that she says. And she says, and you see her stop for a second, and she says, he was slain in battle. It was a terrible death.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss, but I have to ask you this. Is your companion now a threat to you?
And you see the warden's eyes kind of get angry and say, a threat? Never. You see the warden reach down and pick up another bottle of wine, pop it open, and start chugging it down.
You might want to slow down on that. I say in common because I can't understand what's going on here.
And is she an elf? Is she elvish? Human?
Human.
Human.
Tink steps up a little bit, and Ivar and Orion's ears and cheeks kind of flush red as he makes some of the absolute worst joke about Blax's clan and dwarven heritage, trying to elicit some kind of response.
You made a joke, like
Putting his clan down, basically trying to insult him as a dwarf.
The warden once again starts chugging the bottle of wine and slams the bottle on the ground and stands up and says, "You will never speak like that here."
Yeah, in common, Tink says, she seems more her dwarven friend than her.
She sure drinks like a dwarf.
Yep.
What do you guys do?
I'm a bit dumbfounded right now.
Yeah.
Not knowing what the conversation was.
Well, and like I said, I said in common that she's more dwarf than human, apparently, or like
Yeah.
a friend.
I'll say to Tank, I say, what do you mean by that?
I made an insult that is particularly sensitive to us dwarves, and she reacted much more strongly than any human probably
Yeah.
would.
And I'll look back at the warden. I was like, is there something you want to tell us?
The warden once again just looks at you. It's you can tell that she's not sure what to say. You see her look past Ivar to Tink and ask, "What did you do before?"
Well, my clan's famous for our crossbows, which I'm sure you've heard of. It's the Shatterstone clan. Maybe she shot some of our fine bows.
Bows.
Primarily,
So, so you say bows, and she says bows back and spits on the ground.
Ryan chuckles.
Tink's ears turn red.
It's all right, Tink. Some of us like to fight with real weapons.
I mean, he
Right.
does fight with a gun, not a bow, so.
Ivar turns and looks at the warden and says, "Right, Blacks?"
You see all color drain from the warden's face, and her eyes just go really wide, and she sits back in her chair.
Did you say that in common or in Dwarvish?
I said in Dwarvish.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you guys could probably just assume that this conversation's happening in Dwarvish at the moment.
Well, Blacks, so you probably missed Dwarven companionship, huh? You want to join our group?
You just see her, like, still no color in her face, eyes wide, and says, "How'd you figure it out?"
It's pretty obvious. You're speaking Dwarvish and you're asking him about service that only Blacks would have known.
And you're definitely taking more offense to the dwarvish insults than probably normally a human would.
Yeah, so why the ruse, Blacks? Why pretend to be the warden?
I couldn't leave her. Why are you here?
Well, we thought you were dead.
I'm just leaning against the wall, kind of waiting for something to happen.
I did die. This is a magical land. Magic happens. You see him
So
pick
you
up
might-
pick up another bottle, pop it open, and start drinking. Puts her arm out and offers it to Orion.
I'll take it and take a big swig and hand it back, or offer it out for the rest of the, whoever else wants it, I guess.
You see her nod at Ivar.
Well, let's take a drink on your supposed death.
Have you not heard of a spirit taking over a body before?
So, if you've taken over her body, what happened to Marta?
She's here. I only come out a couple times a day.
Oh, okay. So you're just roommates, so to speak.
The warden just starts laughing, and just like hysterically laughing like it was the funniest joke that you could have told her. The others are seeing this probably and wondering, like, what the heck?
I mean, she's laughing, so I'm gonna take a
Yeah.
less.
Uh,
I'm gonna walk over here between the two people that I can understand.
I'm just over in the corner singing.
Can you please shut him up?
No.
I think
oh Jesus!
I think the dwarves have gotten through. I don't know exactly what they're saying yet, but the
Frickin' elves.
laughter.
So,
If they do not hurry up quickly, I might stab Illyrian myself.
Ivar turns 180 to his crew and speaks in common. It's like, well, everybody, say hello to Vlax
What?
And Marta.
and Marta.
How is that possible?
So Vlax seems to be inside of Marta.
Interesting.
As a ghost. Not inappropriately.
Who are we talking to now?
You're rolling the dice. You speak in Dwarvish, and you're going to be talking to Vlax. You speak Common, and you're going to be speaking to the Warden.
Dude, my song is killing it.
Yes, it
My
is.
song is killing it.
You charmed her.
I'm going to look at the warden and say, "Is this by choice?"
You see,
because
you see the warden look at Orion, raise an eyebrow, take a drink of her wine, and offer it up to Ivar.
Sure, I'll drink with you.
Does Vax not speak Common?
Vax. Vlax needs a Vax.
He
Black, sorry,
only
Vax.
speaks Dwarvish.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll talk to him in Dwarvish and ask him the same thing. Is this a mutual arrangement, or are you imposing your will on Marta at all, or vice versa?
So, back when I had been slain on the battlefield, Marta was extremely heartbroken. We were best friends. We went everywhere together. We've known each other since we were very young. She looks over at Ivar and says, "Can I have my bottle back?"
Just one more swig, please. So good. There you go.
Thank you. Takes a big swig, puts it back on the desk. Says, "We've known each other since we were children. She doesn't know anybody but me until she found the until she found the Harpers. The Harpers led her here, but so when I was in battle, she was here, and we were writing letters back and forth. She had heard about my death and had come to where the battle was, and just picked up my body and carried me to the closest necromancer to see what we could do. I had been gone too long, but my spirit lives on." You see her take another big drink. Looks at Tink. Kind of just... You can see her think about offering it to Tink. Takes another drink and offers it off to Orion.
I've had my experiences with the necromancers as well. Never good.
I think they are still offended by your joke, Tink. And your use of bows.
You should
Yeah, I
probably
try to-
apologize.
Yes, I apologize. I was just trying to verify what my thoughts were and get the appropriate reaction. I apologize.
You hear a knock on the door, and the warden says, "Yes," in Dwarvish, and one of the guards steps in and says, "What is that singing?"
It's our elf friend. Yeah, he's a wannabe bard. He could, probably just take that flute away.
If you're gonna stay in the room, you got to pay admission though.
Look, that performance is killing it.
And you
guys should be throwing money at me.
You see the guard look over at the warden. Kind of just like raise an eyebrow. You notice the warden nod her head, and the guard says in Dwarvish, "Understood. If you need anything, let us know." And he looks over at Alarian, shakes his head, and steps back out.
Ivar looks at the warden and says, "You got all these human guards talking Dwarven now?"
It's I've been here a very long time.
So do they know of the situation?
They do. I trust them with my life. They have been here with us this whole time. They've known the warden since she was very young.
Well, if everybody's cool with this situation, I mean, there's no need for us to interfere, right?
Some of them have picked up easier and quicker than others. But it's a prison secret. You can't go tell anybody, please.
Yeah, because we were kind of sent up here to kind of see. People had begun to notice that things were a little off, and we were that was part of our reason for coming here, was to see, what was going on. So what should we tell folks?
As Tink is talking, you notice that the warden's behavior changes just slightly, and she says in common, she says, "The deed is wrong."
You never checked it.
What?
Like, I never got to roll for my forgery, but sure.
Oh, true. Sorry, I was trying to...
Either way, I'll play along. Did she say that in common?
Common,
Or is that in
yeah.
Dwarvish?
Common.
I go, yeah, it's not real.
Why would you lie to me?
How was I supposed to get in here?
You could have just simply asked for a meeting. I'm always down for meeting. Even though the last time you fine folks were here, you did help a prisoner escape.
I never helped anyone escape.
Valish had escaped from here when you guys were here. Some of my guards had noticed you guys run off with him.
We followed him. We did follow him.
Yeah, he walked out on his own accord. We just didn't stop him. We're not paid to stop him.
She interrupts Ivar, looks at Alarian, and says, "You met a dwarf named who?"
I'm sorry, what?
Like, you put that in there and submit away.
I look at Larry and I say, I think it's your song.
You had sung a song about knowing a dwarf named Vlax. How do you know Vlax, and why?
Why do we know Vlax?
Yes.
I'm gonna
We just spoke him.
I'm gonna re-sing the first verse.
Vlax is on his way back from Crazy Town right now, ma'am.
I'll pick up the forged deed. Is there like a candle or a brazier or something? I'll just go toss it in it and burn it because it's not worth anything.
Yes, up on the wall there's like a it's like a torch hanging.
Yeah, I'll just like light it and just kind of let it burn away.
You
The deed that I forged, not the
Yeah.
one that's real.
No one here would like to bleed? Is this a threat?
No, nobody wants to bleed.
Then why are you singing about a dwarf named Vlax? How do you know
'Cause-
Vlax?
Ignore him.
honey.
I'm sorry. He's where?
He's in your head.
Uh,
You apparently don't
No.
realize it, but the dead dwarf is all up in your brain pan. And we've
Illyrian?
just had a conversation with him. Well, the dwarves had a conversation with him, and they've been drinking and everything, and it's a whole big mess, and you're messed up.
And ma'am, I swear on my dwarven ancestors, this is true. We've been talking to you in dwarven for the past 20 minutes or so.
An hour had gone by during that whole interaction.
Oh, and
Yeah.
that past hour.
Yeah. And you see her put her hands on the side of her head and she says, "Not again. This is not again. This is a disaster."
Not again.
You know?
So this isn't mutual?
Well, it's not mutual.
The fact that you're
sharing the
possessed by a
same
dead
brain
dwarf.
space is a dwarf?
Yeah.
She just starts laughing and she says, "There's no dwarf here, silly. But I do need a few minutes. If you could just step out of my office and send one of my guards in, please."
I would like to
Oh.
insight check her to know if she does she
Can I-
know that this is happening to her?
Okay.
And is she lying to us, basically?
Before
She
you do
says she
that,
doesn't-
can I say in dwarvish? Sphincter says what?
Jesus.
Yeah, you know nothing.
Pinter von Hallen bak Nudnan.
Oh.
Did what?
What the hell?
You see her just look at Ryan, raise her eyebrow, shake her head, and say, "Can you please just step out of my office and send one of my guards in for a moment, please?"
Damn it, she knows dwarvish. Alright, fine.
Hey boys, you're crazy warden ones, yeah.
Regular
What?
warden.
One of you.
Dwarf warden.
Fine.
Just
So,
hoping that warden didn't speak English or dwarvish.
Ivor makes small talk with the guards. Hey fellas, do you know that your warden and your warden is possessed by a dwarf
Wait.
named Vlad?
Wait, Alarian is sitting on the
Whoa!
warden's desk.
That's true, and I killed it.
The
Oh
warden,
my goodness.
the warden's looking at you and says, I'm not stuck."
Oh, you're stuck, honey. He's in your head, and he comes out like he says only a couple times a day. So let me ask you this: do you find yourself having little periods of time that just kind of disappear? Like you're there and you're doing something, and then all of a sudden you're somewhere else doing something else, and you don't know how you got there?
You just see her like look really shocked.
Aha!
Oh god. Now we got a bard? What the hell?
What season are you in?
Our regular bard doesn't sing, so.
Oh.
Do I have to answer that question?
Yes, actually.
Shithead season.
Maybe in spring. Would you like me to post it?
No, I'll think I'll look.
What color are you?
Might be a little greenish.
Okay.
Oh, great. Okay.
I
So,
had to change it up.
the warden is looking at you, like, a little confused, and looks over at the guard and says, can you bring him in?
Phew.
The warden looks back at you and says, a little friend of yours. And send the others back in too, please. As she goes out, the guard says, you guys are more than welcome to go back in.
I came back in while he was singing.
Yeah.
Poked my head around the corner and just leaned against the wall.
The guard steps in through the door and holds the door open.
Oh snap!
Why I knew you were. a
You sneaky
nauseating,
little sucker.
eating, murderous mound of horse dung.
Whoa.
Wow.
The warden looks at Valish and says, so, tell me again what happened? And Valish looks around at you all with this smirk on his face. And he says, they helped me escape. And then told me all about what they did before helping me escape. Valish looks at Gwyn with just like the smirk on his face, almost as if he's trying to tell you, like, I win.
Gwyn shoots daggers towards him, and her cheeks are going flush with anger.
Village, I don't know if that was very smart. I only count 6 guards outside.
The Valish looks at you and says, what are the guards gonna do? Looks over at the warden and he says, what's done is done. He looks at the one guard and says, we don't need to stay.
What?
He looked at the guard and said, we don't need to stay.
Do you like all of a sudden run the place?
He looks at you and he says, no. I just made a deal.
And what are the details of that deal?
My life remains safe. You see him turn towards the door.
I will just shut the door.
You shut the door?
Yep.
Okay. Valish looks at you and says, listen, it's nothing personal. And looks back at Gwyn and says, or her on the other hand, she started this.
So you lied to the warden.
I lied? Please tell me where I lied.
Lied like a bug on a rug.
You put the guards to sleep and walked out.
On your own.
I put 3 guards to sleep,
And you walked out.
and
Walked
you
out.
followed me and helped me hid me from the rest of the world until the manhunt was over.
Hid you? You were out in the open with us, you clown.
You see him put the hood up and say, and you helped disguise me.
That's entirely beside the point. We only helped disguise you because we were trying to figure out where the Arcane Brotherhood is and what they have to do with the sneaky winter that's all going on around here, making everybody freeze their tuchuses off.
Well,
Yeah.
the one thing we didn't do, which we knew was wrong, was arm you. We had multiple
True,
chances to give you weapons, and we decided not to.
Oh, you did. As he pulls out the wand that Alarian had given him.
That's not a weapon. It's a thing for
It's
you to
a stick.
focus your magic on. Yeah, it's a stick, dummy.
And he says, it makes me powerful.
Not powerful enough.
Quite powerful. I can do a lot.
Like, kill thousands of people.
You see him point the wand at Gwen and says, do you want to be the 1001?
Baelish,
I w-
I warn you, you better put that wand down right now. You're threatening one of our party members.
I'll say, feel free to try.
You see him
I'm gonna-
turn to try and open the door. Go ahead.
I'm gonna. Okay, so he's trying to open the door. I will draw my bow and put an arrow into the door right next to his head.
Okay.
Do we look like your friends?
You know, I thought we were friends until that one. And he points over at Gwen and says, no matter what I did, just could not trust me.
And look how that turned out for us. So I guess I was right.
You see him just like kind of pondering his next choice of words as he looks around at the group around him.
So you're telling me this is a temper tantrum. You're just mad because we wouldn't be friends with you. So now you're going to try to get us imprisoned. I say that loud enough for the warden to hear.
You see the warden just like just sitting back and watching to see what's gonna happen before she makes any like decisions and movements. She does look over at the guard and like use her finger to call him over. And you see them whispering. And Baelish says, no. I came here to collect the rest of my items and let the warden know that the guards that she had found downstairs were because of you guys.
They were not because of me. Did, out of character, real quick.
Mhm.
Mainly to the group of people, did we tell him what happened in that prison cell?
No, we didn't.
So he's just overheard you guys chatting about certain things and had put some of the details together. So he doesn't fully know about the prisoner that Alarian had shot arrows at and set on fire.
An arrow.
Okay, sorry, an arrow at and set on fire. But yeah, you guys had spoken about the incident in his general vicinity, and he had put two and two together. So he doesn't know all of the details.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm going to say, truthfully, I did not kill a guard. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you were not even around whenever that went down. You didn't see anything.
And Baelish just kind of looks around the group and looks at Alarian and said, you know, I really thought that we were going to be friends.
We were pretty kind to you, actually, Baelish.
Yes,
Given that you had killed a bunch of people.
most of you were. And he looks over at Gwen and said, I don't know what your problem was, but your friends are no better.
Maybe, but at least they're friends.
And I
They
tried.
wouldn't lie to me.
So you went from trying to be a part of our group and wanting our acceptance to betraying us. Where's the honor in that?
I'm part of the Arcane Brotherhood. There is no honor unless you are the Arcane Brotherhood.
And now you've admitted in front of the warden that you're a member of the Arcane Brotherhood, a group of criminals, and the last one of you got burned at the stake. I
Baelish
think it's time for you to die.
starts laughing and says, why do you think I was here?
admitted it.
Quick
Does
side
the-
note. Quick side note.
Yeah.
Tima, what did you do with the papers that you had picked up? Did you give them back to the warden?
The ones that were on the ground, I
Yes.
picked them up and put them on the desk.
Did you read them?
Yes.
Okay, so they're
Well, I attempted to. So that was my purpose was to pick up the pieces of paper, read them, and put them back on the desk.
okay. So you didn't get a chance to read all of the papers that you had picked up, as there had been a lot. But I will pull you because I do have information on one of those papers.
Okay.
Okay, on one of those papers, you read that that Valish was here indefinitely, because he was part of the Arcane Brotherhood. A lot of his belongings are, and so you found this all out on this one paper, and it wouldn't have been hard to pick up what was on the paper. All of his belongings are in the storage room. And I think that's it.
So just like indefinite imprisonment, and some kind of log of his material items were placed in the storage. Got it.
Yeah, and at the bottom it says that on the very bottom of the paper it had said Arcane Brotherhood with Forsaken written beside it.
All right.
Yep. So you can relay that to them.
Something happens, she thinks it's the Harpers trying to keep her in line.
Oh.
Yeah, so she's not with him, like
Okay.
they aren't teammates.
Okay,
I
so
believe Dumb is going pee-pee.
okay.
He said he'll be right back.
Give me a second to think about how I'm going to relay some information that I obtained. What did he say last? Remind me, please, somebody.
That he was part of the Arcane Brotherhood and that was the reason he was here.
Okay.
Right.
We're waiting for you, bud.
Oh, we are? Hold on. Give me a second. Just waiting for it.
Meet me in another room, Dora.
I'm back. Had to get a beer. Of the root kind.
Yes.
Now, when you say forsaken, he was forsaken by the Brotherhood, or it just said forsaken? Is that all you're gonna give me?
It's
Because they could go two ways. Like, he could be a forsaken person, or he could be forsaken by the Brotherhood. But I can play that out. I'm trying to figure out how to present that.
Forsaken. It
And,
says
like, how much would I have gathered from that paperwork, I guess. It was really all.
literally says Arcane Brotherhood, which has forsaken him.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Might run off. OFT.
Opt.
Yeah, that's from Oh Brother We're Out though. Remember when the guy runs off? Like his brother-in-law or whatever that betrays him? He's like, he done run off. OFT.
I love that movie.
I've never
That's so good.
What?
You've never seen it?
What, me?
What?
No. What?
No, you gotta put that
Yeah.
on your Plex list right now.
Yeah,
What?
it's such
yes,
a good
it's
movie.
so good.
What am I missing out on?
It's called what? Brother.
Oh,
Where
brother,
Art
we're
Thou?
out though.
You haven't seen it?
You boys are dumber than a bag of hammers.
It's such a good movie.
I don't know what we're talking about.
He done loved him up and turned him into a horny toad.
Wow.
Okay. Anyways,
Can you tell I love that movie?
it's so good.
So after he says he's part of the Brotherhood, and I say, you were forsaken from the Brotherhood.
He looks at you and says, I was not.
I look over at the warden, and I go, tell me I'm wrong.
You see her look at you and say, where did you get such information?
I have my ways.
And you see her open up her drawer and start shuffling through her papers, and she pulls out a paper that says Prisoner 237 on it. And you see her like reading down it, and you see her look over at Tima, look back at the paper, and says, you used exact words. How did you get that paper?
I will whisper to her a message.
Okay.
And I'll say, I have my ways.
How are you whispering this to her?
With my cantrip message.
Okay.
She hears it.
Okay.
Valish probably also hears it.
And you see her look around the room, and she looks at Tima again, and she says, when were you in my office?
Right now.
And you see her eyes open really wide, and she says, I've been in here this whole time. How did you get that?
Yeah, remember us talking about your good buddy Blacks? He was here. That's what we're trying to tell you.
Your roommate.
She looks over at Tink and she says, we don't speak about Vlex. He's been...
Well, no, we don't speak about him. We speak to him.
There's no way. He's been dead for many years.
His physical body, but he's currently camped outside your head.
Sorry to break it to you there, Warden, but you guys occupy the same headspace.
How many full bottles of wine you got in your desk?
Warden says, I don't drink.
Really?
What's with all the bottles on the floor?
She looks around at the room and looks and sees 3 dwarfs standing there and says, hey, you tell me.
You were here the whole time. How would we chug 3 bottles without you noticing?
And she looks at Ilarion and says, I don't understand. She's saying it to Ilarion because Ilarion had told her that, or had said to her, that she appears in one place when she doesn't remember going there. Or doing something and she doesn't remember doing something else.
So it would seem that when Blax died, he, his spirit partially possessed you, and he
carries on
can
within.
take over sometimes.
She looks at the guard that's standing beside her, and he just nods at her, and you see her just like put her hand on her chest, like she's trying to process, you know, like when you get bad news and like your chest hurts. So that's kind of what she's experiencing at the moment. So she's trying to process all of what's being said, and she opens her drawer and she starts going through, and a set of keys fall on the ground. But she doesn't notice as she's trying to, she's trying to find something, almost as if it's a note. And then she starts moving the papers around on the top of her desk. And she grabs a piece of paper and she's reading it, but you can tell that it's not making much sense to her. And she looks back up at Ilarion and back at the paper, and she says, "Can you read this?"
Can I read it?
It's written in Dwarvish.
Oh, I can read that.
No, she looks at the guard and asks him, "Can you read this?" She says, "I can speak it, but I'm not very good at reading it." And the guard looks at it and he says, "I was only taught to speak."
Tink walks up and takes a look. I can probably read it. What's you got?
She looks at Tink, looks back at Ilarion, looks at Tink, and says, okay. And she hands Tink the paper.
Alright, so Tink will take a look at it and see if it's written in Dwarvish.
It is. So you're reading the paper, and the paper says, many people know, and I'm sorry that you don't.
Alright. Tink looks up and passes it over to Ivar and Orion so they can read it as well, and then I'll turn back to her and relay that message that many people know, and I'm sorry you don't. That has to be from Flax.
You see her look at the paper again, and she says, "It is his handwriting. Well, he's been gone for ages. I took him to a necromancer, and the necromancer said there was nothing he could do. Roll performance."
Stand by. I've done better.
Hitting when it matters most.
When it matters most, your performance is lacking.
12 is still not
Oof.
horrible. It's above average.
Yeah.
I hate it here. Where? Jesus. Where were we?
Is that a short flute or a long flute?
Just slightly over average.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah.
That's not a flute. This is a flute.
Jesus Christ. Okay, anyways. I forgot what
Shama in my backpack.
was just said.
Piece of paper with written in Dwarvish
Oh.
says others know.
So she says that she had taken his body to the necromancer, and the necromancer said there was nothing that he could do. She had paid, I paid a lot of money to the necromancer to see if she could save him, bring him back, anything, and he told me there was nothing.
It seems he did something. I say from across the room.
You see her kind of like look past Solarian. Are you still sitting on her desk?
Jith.
Okay. You see her look past Solarian to the back corner at Tima and says, "Hey, and this doesn't make any sense to me. I need some time."
I mean, I can understand. This could be quite a lot to take in, so I don't have a problem giving you time, but we definitely do not want to let this man out of this prison.
Oh, and you see her look over at Baelish and look at her guards, or look at the guard that's standing beside her, whisper something to him, and you see him go up to Baelish, and Baelish is still holding the wand in his hand.
Okay.
And you see him, you see the guard grab the wand in Baelish's hand.
Yoink.
I have counterspell, so if he tries to do something, I'm going to use it.
Oh, hold on. Never mind. You see no wand in Baelish's hand. And you just kind of they would see the wand going through the air.
Well, no, because once it's in the hand, it's invisible.
Oh, right.
Anything that's in
Okay.
the hand is invisible too.
Yeah, so you just see the wand disappear from Baelish's hand, and you see him look down, kind of confused. He looks back up at the guard, and the guard says, go." And Baelish turns to open the door, and he kind of stops, and he looks back at the guard.
Wait, the guard told him to go?
Yeah. And
I'm not going to let him open the door.
you see, so he goes to open the door, and he turns back, looks at the guard, and the guard falls asleep.
No, I counterspell that. So he's going to have to do if it's a third level or lower, is it sleep you're casting on him? Which I think is under third level, so it won't work.
And Ivar, with my mighty strength, put my hand on the door. Say, nope.
You used counterspell.
If the spell is a third level or lower, it fails and has no effect.
Okay, so he's not sleeping. All right. And you see Baelish like kind of look around, and he says, "The warden wants me gone." And he kind of looks at the warden, and she says, "Let my guards take care of him." And you see the guard push Baelish against the wall, the door, and says, "Open it."
I'll let the door open.
Okay.
I'll
Baelish
step aside.
Baelish is like, "I can't open it. You're pushing on me." The guard steps back a little bit, and Baelish is able to open the door. And
I will hold the door and just watch him as he leaves. I want to just make sure that the guards get him in control. Like,
Yeah.
I'll follow them out.
okay. Did you?
Is there a death penalty at your prison? Just out of curiosity.
Okay, 1 second. Timo, once you come through the door, you notice that the door just like because it's heavy, it closes behind you. And you're good, don't worry. And I'll come back to that. Gwen, you did ask the warden if there is a death penalty, and the warden says it's case by case.
Oh, I see. I was just curious.
Well, I kind of feel like in this case there's about to be one.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to go quietly.
Yeah, he's altogether evil.
Yes, I think we all know that.
No, I'm saying that to the warden.
So as we're having this conversation, take a walk over and just trying to open the door so we can take a look out. Keep an eye on the hallway out there.
1 second. Okay. Tink, you opened that door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Uh, okay. Before you do that, Tink, I just need a second.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you just blew yourself up again.
Hush. I gotta touch it.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, as I open the door, I'm greeted by sights and sounds of a fierce battle starting outside. I yell back in and said, "Shit's hitting the fan, boys," and run out into the hallway.
Woohoo! Let's go.
Warden, stay here. We'll be right back.
Wait, are we doing initiative?
You are now, yes.
Oh my god.
Oh, damn it. I did that to just the GM, but I'm sure you saw that.
Yeah.
Eyes.
We're gonna have to fight all the guards again.
Don't know yet. All I know is that
Baelish.
they're fighting. I don't know who's fighting who yet.
Yeah, I think Baelish might be trying to fight them.
Okay.
Oh, she didn't listen for shit.
What?
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 The warden, she didn't listen.
Did you tell her to stay?
Well, yeah, but she didn't listen. So that's okay. It doesn't matter.
She owns the place.
As long as she doesn't get dead.
Does the warden own a Brit? No.
And maybe she'll go all warrior dwarf in the middle of this and smack a bitch around.
Yeah, we'll just let Black see just how potent my little bows are.
Alarian, you're up. So when you guys came out, you saw Valish. Sorry. When Tima came out, he saw Valish turn and punch one of the guards. And that is when Tink opened the door, when all of the guards were pulling out their... swords. So yes, Alarian, you are up.
Okay. As I'm singing my little song, I will draw back my bow and shoot an arrow at Valish.
Okay. That hits.
And is this the door out?
In the center?
Yeah, where I'm hanging.
Yes.
Okay.
For 6 points of damage. Okay. Okay. That brings us to Ivar.
Ivar steps forward and with his first of 2 attacks, swings his battle axe.
Everybody just remember these are 10-foot squares.
Yeah.
Yep.
That misses.
All right. And swings again with his second attack.
Okay. That hits. Yep.
And with his action surge, takes a third swack.
Okay. Yes, that hits.
And I am finished.
Okay. That brings us to the warden. Man. Okay. Okay, she does a magic missile for 2, 5, and 3. So
It would be 10.
10?
Against?
Valish.
Against who?
Against Valish.
Oh, the warden. Haha, my bad. I thought Valish was attacking.
No. The warden attacked Valish.
Yay, go warden.
And
Get him.
That brings us to Valish.
If I see him casting a spell, I will counterspell it. You just have to let me know if I do.
Yeah. I'm just looking because... what's your armor type, Ivar?
My armor type?
Yeah.
Skiv.
You mean split armor? Split armor.
So metal.
Yeah.
Jazz.
Oh,
There's
he's gonna.
metal. On it, yes.
Is he gonna magneto me?
He is going to cast Shocking Grasp at Ivar.
And I will counterspell it.
Yeah, it's a cantrip, so...
Doesn't matter, it's a spell.
Okay.
Yeah, cantrips are just like really easy spells that you can perform over and over.
Yeah. I just wasn't sure if it mattered for the counterspell or not.
Yeah, it's just a level 0 spell, so it would be counterspelled.
Okay.
He just grabs a hold of him and nothing happens.
Okay. So yeah, you guys all see, like, Valish just reach out and grab Ivar. So he's just kind of holding on to Ivar right now, making sure that he's touching the armor on Ivar. And that brings us to this guard here. And he is going to... he's going to step beside Ivar and use his multi-attack with his long sword, missing with the first one, hitting with the second one for 8 points of damage. And then that brings us to Tink.
Alright, Tink moved up 30 feet about there. And gonna take a shot. Pulls one of the red glowing musket balls out of his pocket and drops it down the front of his musket and casts Firebolt.
Deafens Ivar.
Yeah.
Ah!
Hit 2.
Yep.
Alright, so then 2d10 fire times 2, so that's 14.
Okay.
It would actually be 12.
Oh,
Yeah,
12? Okay.
You only double the dice roll, you don't double the +2.
Right. So if you mouse over it, Brandon, you'll see that you actually rolled a 5 and then got the +2, so it'd be 5 times 2 + 2.
Oh, see, I thought that 5 plus 2 is the 2 dice rolls. 5. I have rolled a 5 and a 2 for 7.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
is it 2d10? Then
Yeah,
in that
yeah.
case it would be 14 points.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought you had a plus something.
Yeah, Ander.
I think I do, but I forgot what. I think it's intelligence, but it's a spell.
Okay. The warden yells, "Enough!" Looks at her guard and says, "Can you..." Looks at her guard and says, "He's weak. That's enough." Looks at the rest of you and says, "I will not have murder happening right now."
Murder! This is self-defense, honey.
Is it? Am I next in line?
please let it be me.
So that was Tank. Orion is next. And this isn't self-defense because if you guys don't remember, Valish was fighting the guards. Tink told you about it, and you guys stepped in.
Yes, but under common law, defense of a third party does also count as self-defense.
Okay.
Common law of D&D.
Well, common law of every... it's always known if you're defending somebody else, it's, you know... I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look up D&D 5e self-defense. Stand by!
Faerunian law class. Here we go.
All right, Ryan, what do you do?
I will, put my hammer, or whatever, shield my hammer. Put my hammer away. And stand down. That'd be my turn.
Okay. That brings us to Tima.
Okay, and I'm going to command him. So he's gonna grovel.
Nice.
You'll have to roll a wisdom save 16.
Oof. That was bad.
Grovel, basically, he falls prone. He gets down on the ground and just begs for mercy.
Okay. So the rest of you guys see Valish drop to the ground, and he just starts begging for his life. Like, please, please don't do this anymore. I'm done. I won't. I'll get locked up. I don't care. I'll be good.
I will note that I did it very vocally, very loudly. I told him to grovel.
Yep.
So everybody knows that it may not necessarily be him.
Yep. And yeah, he just continues, like, crying, like, please, I'll be really good, I promise, like, this isn't necessary.
Tima,
And
do you still have those papers with you? Do you still have them?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
No, they were on the desk.
No, the one, like the deed that you brought in. Do you
Oh,
still
I
have
burn
it?
it. It's
Oh,
gone.
damn it.
why? Okay.
I can make you
Gwen.
another one.
I just need some paper.
Gwen steps
I can give you
forward
paper.
to right here, and she looks up to the heavens as if
Oh
trying
man,
to
I can't
find an
see
answer.
you. Oh, I see you. Okay.
Man, I would love to take your life, Baelish, but I'm afraid I cannot today, if it is Warden's wishes. Let Tyr give you justice, and she does not do anything.
Do I have the paper now?
Where are you at?
I'm literally
Yeah, I
right
can-
beside you.
I mean, sure, I can hand you a piece of paper if you ask for it.
Yeah, can I have a piece of paper?
I hand him paper.
Please. Okay, I'm gonna roll the paper up. I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna beat Baelish vigorously about the head, neck, chest, face, and spine, saying, "No, bad dog."
But you're not.
Or why?
And because it's not your turn.
But we're out of combat now, aren't we?
No.
Oh.
Everybody
Well,
has to stand down. None of you really agreed to stand down except for, so far, Orion and Gwen.
Right. I mean, I kind of
Yes, you told him to.
told him
yeah.
to grovel.
Yeah. So there's that.
I'm helping.
All of the guards they're all standing down, they're all putting their weapons away. Now, Olarian, it is your turn.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the paper and come over here and beat him sharply about the head, chest, face, neck, and spine. It's saying, "Bad dog, no, stop it."
He's how long does that last?
Command. 1 round. So, like, when it becomes his turn, he's going to be still groveling until the end of his turn.
Okay. So he's begging you, like, please let me live.
Who's a bad boy? Who's a bad boy? You're a bad boy.
Alarian.
Bad.
Actually, it's until my turn. So, until the beginning of my turn, he'll be groveling.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I only get to beat him for 6 seconds, and then my time's up. So.
Oh, he's prone, right?
Yeah. He's on the ground. Like, he's down on his knees and with his hands on the floor.
As much as I'd love to see him dead, there's no point, or it's not honorable to fight him unarmed. He deserves proper justice.
Well, I'm not really fighting him. I'm just hitting him with a piece of paper.
Sorry, I got distracted.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay. That brings us to Ivar.
Ivar decides not to attack, and she's his, or puts his battle axe back on his back.
Okay.
He defers the rest of his party.
Okay, and that brings us to the warden. The warden. Oops, that's the wrong music. The warden steps up beside Valish and says, "Stand up." And he just looks at her, and he's still just like crying and groveling, and you know, you can tell that he's against his will, crying on the ground. And she looks over at Tima and says, "Make it stop."
Yeah, it's done. It
Okay.
could have ended.
Okay. And now she picks him up off the ground, and she's like just holding the back of his shirt, and she says, "Where you're going, you guys are all distracting me." And she says, "Where you're going, these guys are the least of your worries." Looks over at her guards and says, "Taken."
I'll look at the ward and I'll say, I offer my assistance if you need him controlled in any way.
She just looks at all 6 guards as they all try to come forward as you guys are here, and she looks at the rest of you and says, "Please step back into my office while my guards do their work."
Wynn glances at Baelish and smirks. Bye-bye.
I will bow to the warden and see my way into her office. And I will be right back in 30 seconds.
Okay, so Tink and Ivar.
All right, so Tink will step back and he'll put his weapons up, but he's still going to keep a watchful eye.
Wait. The warden asked you to take a step into her office so that her guards can do their job. Yep.
My bad. Tink was just kidding. He's inside the office.
Okay. The warden comes back in, asks Ivar, "Why are you sitting in my desk?"
You know,
Doesn't
I
seem
wanted some of that
terribly
wine. I
uncommon.
was looking for
Yeah, we
wine.
were looking for that wine.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem terribly uncommon for you to have a dwarf sitting at your desk.
You see her like look at you, and I need to be right back. Real quick.
I just know he's going to give them the slip.
Yeah, probably.
That means we get to fight him again.
Next time without someone to stop us. We can make it dead, peepee head.
I'm back.
Oh. Yeah, end of the day, he wasn't very tough.
Out of character, did Captain Arlagath say that she knew Marta?
I believe so.
Sorry, where are we at right now?
In the warden's office, and
What?
Dora had to step away for a second.
Oh, okay. Because the captain told us to come. Like, the captain knew Marta.
I'm back, sorry. I just picture him standing by me. Alright, so who made the comment about the dwarf sitting at her desk?
That was me.
Okay, so she's looking at you, still with like a very confused expression on her face.
Okay, so I'm gonna plop back up on her desk and say, what is it you're having trouble understanding here, honey?
I don't understand what you mean by there's a dwarf at my desk.
Well, yeah, because Vlax is in your head.
But he's not.
But he so is. And so what happened was when he died, he moved into your head. And at least a couple times a day, he takes over. Remember we were talking about earlier how sometimes you just end up missing time, like you're in one place doing something and then you're in a completely different place doing another thing. That's when he takes over, right? It's why all the guards here seem to know how to speak Dwarven, but you don't speak Dwarven, right? So he takes over.
I do.
And, well, okay, so you do. That's beside the point. But what happens is he takes over, and when he takes over, there's kinda, at least mentally, a dwarf at your desk. See how that works?
I understand that part. But if I don't remember it, then did it really happen?
I mean, if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's there, does it make a sound? Of course. What is this, Schrodinger's dwarf?
Yes.
I'm kind of walking in circles. I'm like, I wish I could give you the power to be able to read in Dwarvish so you can communicate with Vlax. But it seems like there's magic involved here. And he can write things on paper and we can read it to you, but you have to trust us that we are reading what's factually on the paper and not... Like, you know it's his handwriting, right?
Yes, I can tell that it's his handwriting.
Well, there you go.
But this could have
Tell
been
you
written
what.
at any time.
All right, I tell you what. You've got a piece of paper here. Write something down that only he would know,
Okay.
and then we'll let him answer it next time he's here.
I'll even step out of the room because you know I have abilities. I'll step out of the room if you don't mind, just so you know that I'm not influencing this at all.
Go ahead.
And I start walking toward the door.
Well, she kind of looks at all of you and she says, I don't want you to know what the paper says, because how would I know if it's him over you?
Well, is there a question that an event that y'all experienced? Doesn't have to be secretive, but just something just you and he know.
Or it could be something that a lot of people know, but there's just no way we could know about it.
Right.
Like, I don't know, what color underwear he wears.
Would everybody know that?
We know that.
I mean, it's her.
I mean, well, they were together. From what we
We're
were
not
told.
talking about
No, they weren't together.
dead.
Friends.
They were just
Mhm.
BFFs,
Oh, they're friends. Okay.
best fighting friends.
Mm-hmm. You see her, just write on the paper, fold it up, and set it on the desk, and asks you not to touch it.
All right, address it to Blacks, and then you sit there, and I don't know how long it takes for this to happen. It just happened to happen while we were here, earlier, and then maybe next time it happens, open that back up and see if he answered you.
Are you around for a while?
We'll wait as long as we need. He said
Yeah.
it happens a couple
All
times a day.
day.
So
Well, it is getting late. Would you like some rooms, or are you going to camp out in here with me?
I'll hang out here. That's fine. I don't sleep anyway.
I do. Are you going to watch me sleep?
You get used to it after a while.
We'll probably enter a trance for a little while just to, relax.
And what about the rest of you? Would you like some rooms, or are you going to camp out in here?
Yeah, we'll take her. I'll take a room. Ain't no sense all of us in here, I don't think.
Room sounds great.
Yes.
Yeah.
I only have one question.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly do you plan on doing with Baelish now that he's in your hands again?
That is on a need-to-know basis, and my guards at the moment are handling it. He will be locked up for quite some time until we figure out a way to deal with him and his magic.
Okay, well, that is all. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. So, you guys are all taking rooms except for Alarian. I guess Tima's not in here at the moment, so we don't know what he's doing. But you guys are all taking rooms except for Alarian?
I'm prompting my party to read the note.
It's folded up under her hand.
No, not that note. The note I wrote to them. You don't
Wrote
know
the
that
note?
note. In our little chat. One of the dwarves read the thing that I wrote in chat.
All right. Tink, as he starts heading towards the door, says in Dwarvish, respond to that note.
And I was interesting in the other thing you wrote.
Yeah, that was a respond to your other question.
Oh, and you can have your paper back. It's
Thank
a
you.
little wrinkly, but
That's fine. I flatten it back out. So, Tink had said in Dwarvish to respond to the note to the warden, and we are all taking absence of the room, I suppose.
Hmm.
I'm hanging out in here.
I'll stay in here as well, because if the dwarf does come back, Valerian won't be able to talk to him. I'll just nap in the corner.
And Tima, being outside of the room, would have no idea about what had just gone on inside of the room.
Hello.
So you guys are gonna have to fill him in and ask him if he wants a room, or if he's staying in the room with Olarian and the warden, and Ryan.
Right. So I'll fill him in common that, hey, we're kind of waiting on her to respond to that note whenever Blacks comes back, and then she'll have to come back too. And then a couple of guys are going to stay in there with them, but they're going to give us a room.
Do we think it's going to take that long?
I don't know. We have no idea.
Yeah, I guess we don't know what triggers the black speaking, I suppose. I guess we just get... They have those estate rooms or whatever here? The visitor rooms, I guess? You can just hang out there, I suppose.
Yeah,
for now.
yeah, we were earlier.
Where's Valerian, Orion, and... oh gosh. What is your name?
Ivar's here.
Ivar.
Yep.
Nope, there's Ivar.
I was drinking some wine.
Dwarf hadn't come back yet.
I'll poke my head back in the room. Hey, what's going on?
We're just
I'm
waiting
not-
to see when Flax comes back.
Oh, okay. I'll be waiting outside.
Did you
Still
want a
waiting on
room?
Sure, if you're offering.
Alright, so all of you outside of the door are taking a room?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Put me in a room with Valish.
I don't know if you want that room.
Kill him. In my sleep. Claim insanity. Temporarily.
The warden, you notice that the warden just starts to doze off.
My own room. I'm gonna hang out with Tink. You think Vlax will come back on command?
No, I don't think it's on command. I don't know what causes it. We'll just kind of have to see. It's kind of why I figure we'll get a little rest while we can.
Fair call. All right, I'll go back to my room. Well, I hope it works out. For all of us. How does sending work with bipolar people? I have questions now.
So Orion and Alarian, you notice that the warden is in a very deep sleep. She is snoring away.
Okay.
I will make the best of my sleep and just lay down and try to get as much snooze as I can. Count as a short rest or a long rest?
Long.
Mhm.
I'm in a trance.
So is it morning time or?
It will be in about 2 seconds.
All right.
Alright, now it's morning time. The warden wakes up with like a... It's almost as if she was jolted awake. Uh, Yep.
Marta, or are we talking to Vlax now?
Actually. Hold on. The others aren't here. I don't know why we are.
Is it Marta, or is it Vlax?
In common. She says Marta. All I did was sleep.
Dang, damn it.
Did Vlax happen to tell you how often he
Just said
came?
a couple times a day. We don't know what triggers it or anything. The last time, or when it triggered for us, it was when we handed you the deed thing, and it almost seemed like you shifted gears and started rifling through the desk and whatnot in a panic.
Oh.
So, yeah, because when we showed you the fake deed to Blax's things, you pulled out the real one, and then he got really confused and started rifling through the desk and drinking like crazy.
You see the warden put her hands, and she's wearing a robe. You see her put her hands in the pockets of her robe and pull them out and look like... You guys didn't see any keys around, did you?
No.
I can't say that I have.
We might want to go make sure Baelish is where he's supposed to be.
Well, when Vlax was rifling through the desk, he may have dropped something. He seemed like he was making quite the mess of your paperwork.
Of course he was. Sorry, just 1 second. Okay. Making a mess of my paperwork. Of course he was. It's always something. I come back and there's a mess, or I come back and stuff is missing. Ugh. I just need my keys.
Peace be upon you, Sister Warden. I think we should go check and make sure that Baelish is where he should be. I'm gonna turn to Ryan and say, "Peace be upon you, Brother Dwarf."
I know you don't sleep, but it seems like you had a really good sleep.
It was quite refreshing. Thank you.
Oh, for frig's sakes. Are we actually talking to Illyrian?
Of course, Brother Dwarf.
Blacks.
He's speaking common. Flax doesn't speak common.
Oh, right. Shit. What the hell? I'm so confused.
You notice you notice the color of Alarian is like a it's like an orange color.
Did you eat too many carrots? I don't know what it means. Oh, I'll never understand these elves.
You love carrots.
Oh yeah, so his hair and his eyes, his hair and his eyes have taken on a reddish hue.
Yeah, really my skin too, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But most of my skin's covered, so that'd be hard to see. But well, I guess my face, yeah.
Yep.
So. All right.
Please, Sister Warden, I beseech you. Let's go make sure that Baelish is where he's supposed to be. I would hate to think what he would do to people if he escaped again.
Yes, okay. You see her stand up, like, in such a hurry. Flings the door open and notices that there's only one guard standing outside. And she says, where's the rest of the guards? And the guard looks at her and says, standing guard? And she says, I have visitors. There should be more. And you see the guard just kind of like, just stand there and kind of like, he doesn't know what to say or do. And she says, ugh. And she goes through the door and goes down. I will take you guys down.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of walk through the door and then turn around and run back. Peace be upon you, Brother Guard. And then run back to the door.
So she's gonna take you to,
There it is.
she's,
Okay, you're dragging me. Thank you.
yeah.
I'm having troubles here.
Peace be upon you, Brother Guard.
Illyrian, is this like a new season for your kind, or what's up?
I just feel goodwill towards everyone.
Oh. All right. Well, I can respect that.
You see the two guys that are standing beside this door bow down to the warden and say, Warden. And she says, open the door. And they say, but ma'am, I don't think that's a good idea. And she says, I don't care. Do it. And the door opens and she steps inside and she says, where's my keys? And you can see, yeah, you can see Valish just like look at her with like this look like I don't know what you're talking about. And she says, I know it's you. I know you're the one that took it. And he says, I have no idea what you're talking about, but maybe you should look at the thieves around you. And she looks at Orion, or sorry, he looks at Orion. Go away. Looks at Orion, and Orion is standing at the door, like just inside the door, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
Just outside.
okay, so he looks at Orion, looks at Alarian, and he says, they have stolen many things, one of which is a magic pot, and all of my goods. So, take a look at them. And he turns around and faces the wall. The warden just, like, goes towards him, and you can tell that she's doing something, but you can't really tell, like, what she's doing. She's deeply concentrated.
While she's doing that, I move into the room
Yeah.
and pat him on his shoulder and say, "Peace be upon you, Brother Baelish."
And you see him dirty look you, and the warden says he doesn't have it. And she shoves him into the wall and steps out of the room.
I'll follow her out.
I'll follow her out as well, and as I go through the door, I'll say, "Peace be upon you, Brother Baelish. Peace be upon you, one-eyed, floaty things."
Okay. And she turns and looks at you guys and says, do you want to meet with your friends, or did you want to come back to my office?
I think we should wake all of them, and we can all assemble in your office and discuss
Yeah.
it peacefully.
Very well. I will meet you there. If you go through that door, and she points down to the store down here. If you go through that door, your friends will just be on the other side, and I will meet you back in my office when you're ready.
Peace be upon you, Sister Warden.
Okay. And we can go back up.
Okay.
More fighting, and some days you just have conversation. This is the way
Mhm.
D&D falls.
Guys,
Hmm?
I think Illyria
Hello.
fucking-
What?
Did Illyrian get in trouble?
No, he's just super.
Peace be upon you, Brother Lizard. Say that to Tima, and then I'll turn to Tinkin and Ivar and say, "Peace be upon you, brother dwarves." And then to Gwen, "Peace be upon you, sister." Hilarious.
Did you respond to my message?
Did I get a message?
I sent you a message in game. I asked how is it going, to which you could have responded. I didn't know if Dora told you about it or not.
No.
Okay, she forgot.
Oh yeah, regarding the warden, no Vlax. But she is missing her keys, which seems to be a point of contention for her if she can't find them.
Not the
Um,
dwarvish keys she showed us, right?
Maybe?
I thought she showed us dwarven keys, or was that just that message?
I remember seeing set of keys fall out of her desk. I wonder if Valish managed to sneak those away.
Well, we just spoke to Valish, and she searched him, I think, and I came up empty. So, unless he's got him, in his prison wallet, probably doesn't have it.
Tate looks over at Alarian and saying, "You didn't happen to find any keys, did you?"
I did not know.
I will message the warden and say, "Did you look under your desk?"
She can respond.
Yes.
Okay. She says they're not here.
I'll message her back and say interesting. Where would those keys have gone?
Could a guard have picked them up?
Possible.
Are we sure that Vlax is only sharing headspace with the warden?
We don't know much about what's happening there.
Yeah.
And I only picked up part of the conversation. I assume you guys filled me in on some of the rest of it. Because,
Yeah.
as you well are aware, I can't speak Dwarvish.
You should learn. It's a cool language.
I should learn.
But yeah.
So he never came back. She never read that. And now her keys are lost.
Wait, you spoke to Valish?
Yeah, he's
I
being
guess
held in
you guys-
a room just to the north of us.
Yeah, we thought he might have taken her keys, so we went and peacefully asked him if he had stolen them.
Yeah.
And peacefully shot him in the eye.
Did you?
That would have been inappropriate.
Oh.
That would have been very inappropriate.
Do you think you would have been lying? Because, I mean,
Well,
it
she
wouldn't be.
did something. She got really quiet for a moment and then said he doesn't have them.
Well,
It was all quite strange.
I don't have the ability to find objects. Otherwise, I would 100% do that.
Are you still able to get a message from the warden?
So, I sent her the interesting, and she could respond to that,
Mm-hmm.
which she has not.
Even though it has taken a second?
I don't know that there's a limit on how long it takes. Yeah, it doesn't say there's a limit. Its duration is 1 round, so it would have been about 6 seconds, so potentially it would have worn out by now.
Mhm.
I'll let you make that call.
I'll just wait for Tara to get back real quick and then I'll carry on.
I almost picked up that spell. There's a spell, locate object.
Hmm.
Though I think I would have had to Well, I would have seen. You said the keys fell out. I contemplated picking him up and handing him back or something, but I did not.
Okay, so you get a message back, but it doesn't make sense to you.
Okay.
It's in Dwarvish.
Oh boy. I'll help you out this, Dora. I'm going to attempt to repeat what I heard in Dwarvish to everybody, and then I'll ask what that means. So I'm going to roll a performance check.
Yep.
And this will tell how well I reproduce that noise.
Yep. Okay.
Pretty good.
So, the dwarfs that are standing around you, can kind of understand what you're saying. It's not perfect, but they do understand that you said, you did this. You told her.
You did what to my mother? Huh?
What are you on about?
Oh, wait. I think I
Also-
misunderstood him. Okay.
I thought you didn't speak Dwarvish. I mean, you don't, but
No, that's
Dwarf?
what.
Dwarvish-ish maybe.
Sorry, of course I don't know Dwarvish, so I couldn't tell you what they were saying, but it sounded like that. So it's something like what I just said.
Can you make that sound?
Who said that?
Be at peace, friends.
I love this new meta
I think
Alarian.
I think I like the other one better.
The rest of you look at Ilarian and you notice that his hair, his eyes, and his skin are kind of like a reddish tint.
I thought he was green a minute ago.
Apparently he's ripened,
he
and it's
goes-
put him on the path of loving kindness.
Elvish hot flashes.
Yeah. Would you say he's orange, the color of like a Buddhist monk? Buddhist monk's robes.
What?
Thanks, Larian. All right. Well, Tima, you never really told us where you heard this from.
Oh, I sent the warden a message. I told her to look under the desk for the keys, and she said they're not there. And then I sent her back another message just to let her know that, like, that's interesting to me. And that's what I got in response back.
Oh,
Ooh,
so Vlax is
is
back.
here.
We should probably head back up there before he, goes away
Yep,
again.
yep.
Yeah.
All right. So
We'll
let's
go help him
see
be
if
at
the
peace.
guards will take us back up there.
Blackstreet's back. All right.
He's been calling you, brother guards. Would you please escort us back to the warden's office?
What did he say?
We think the dwarf is back.
No, what did he say? What did the dwarf say? What was? What did
he's-
I tell you? What was that in common?
Something about it's all your fault. You told her. So I don't think he's happy that we told the warden about him
Yeah,
hitching
Yeah,
a ride
maybe
in
not.
her.
that might
bring
not
him.
be a good thing.
Well, Let's go
Um,
see what we broke.
Definitely, yeah,
yes.
We're
we
good
need to
at
see the
breaking
warden.
things.
I'll take you there now. Yep.
All right. I guess I'll ask the guard if is the warden available? Is it okay if we go in?
She's in there. You can knock.
Okay. I'll knock on the door.
You hear like a weird sound coming from inside the warden's office, but it doesn't sound like alarming. The guard looks over at you and just nods.
All right, I guess I'll go in then.
Yeah.
I
Warden?
follow.
Or Lax? Everything okay?
Maybe you should say in Dwarvish.
Oh, yeah, I'd say in Dwarvish. Lax? Are you alright? Or is this the warden?
Back in Dwarvish. They say, "You did this. You're the reason that she wrote this letter." And she holds out the letter. And it just simply says, Dwarven Fortress with a question mark.
What does that mean?
She's a gamer.
She
Fortress?
Yes.
she knows what she has to do.
What? And that is?
My legacy isn't gonna live on forever if she knows what she has to do.
What does she have to do?
What's he saying?
Oh yeah, what's he saying?
Tink or somebody
Yeah,
relay.
Tink relays it, retranslates to common.
Yeah, what is, like, you're gonna have to slow down for a second to just spell it out for us, because we don't know what you're going on about. What legacy, and what does she have to do? Because maybe we can assist.
My legacy. I am the greatest warrior that was around in my time.
Okay.
And she wants to get rid of me.
Well, most people don't like having multiple personalities in their head. That's not surprising. We were kind of under the impression that she knew about it and was okay with your presence, but now you laughing at my roommate comment definitely makes a little more sense.
She can't get rid of me. I'm the one that holds all of her treasure.
Wait, treasure? What treasure?
Goddamn doors.
The warden kind
that
of
what
just looks at Tink, shakes his head, and says, "Huh. You want more treasure to make some more bows?"
No, but I mean, it would be helpful for us to maybe we can help protect it for you.
I don't trust you.
Well, of course not. But
Looks-
you trust her, don't you?
I've been taking care of all of the treasure. She's just here. I am the mastermind behind hiding the treasure.
But what good does the treasure do you when you've already died and, you're basically a hitchhiker in her mind?
Is all this being translated to us as it happens?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make. I mean, I know Grin or Tink said he was going to translate, but
Yes,
just wanna make
sorry.
sure. Okay. So I'm going to say, peace be upon you, brother, sister, dwarf warden. could the treasure be used to bring and spread peace among the people?
So Tink translates that to Dwarvish.
And Orion rolls his eyes.
The treasure, the treasure it's to help pay for the ships that bring the prisoners and the cargo, and you know, it keeps this place running for her.
So you're the accountant?
He kind of looks at you and says, I'm a warrior, not an accountant.
It sounds like you've been put behind a desk and are an accountant now.
Tink translate this back to a common.
Ooh. Maybe not so direct, I say.
The warden takes a step forward and just like is towering over Orion and says,
Step in between and say, "Be at peace, brothers and sisters."
Thanks, Illyrian. I appreciate it.
There's no need for bloodshed.
he just looks down at Orion and says, I'm not an accountant. I also have been keeping some stuff for her that it's from the Harpers.
Is it flowers?
No.
So you're keeping stuff that she needs to know away from her?
No. She doesn't need to know it. It's for her own good that the Harpers had asked it to be put away. And at the time, she had just been keeping it out in the open.
Does that mean... Wait. Is she a Harper, or are you a Harper for her? Is she aware that she's a Harper?
She's been a Harper for longer than I've been a dead man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, remember Valish told us that. Well, he accused her of it at least.
Yes. I just wasn't sure if he was the one that, you know, signed her up for it and was doing all the Harper stuff.
Harpers are good people. Always trying to spread goodwill.
It sounds like you're trying to protect her, but also keeping stuff from her that could impede her from being able to do her job appropriately.
Oh, I'm not keeping anything from her. Come, follow me. He leaves the room.
We'll follow you. Show us that treasure.
Right. Where are we going?
I'll whisper
Hands
to
off,
myself.
Tink.
I'll whisper to myself.
Peace be with you,
Supposed
brother.
to be following.
I'm following. Not knowing why I'm following. Following.
So in this room, you see a bed, a treasure chest, a nether chest, and she looks at you all and says, "See? This is the warden's bedroom. She knows these chests are here. She has the key for it. So I'm not keeping
Well-
anything from her."
When the
About the
tran-
key.
When the translation of key comes through, I say, is that the key she's missing?
And I'll ask that in Dwarvish.
Missing?
Yeah, apparently it has left her possession. She can't find it.
And all of a sudden you see the warden reaches into her pocket and pulls out the paper that she had written on. And looks at you guys and says, "Anybody have a pen? Or a feather? A quill?"
Yes. Here, I hand
Be
one
upon
over.
you.
Takes the quill from Tima, quickly writes something down, passes the quill back and says, "Thank you." Puts it back in the pocket. And then you can see that the warden's just like, something isn't right. And all of a sudden the warden's like, what are you doing in my bedroom?
Well, it was just one of those nights. I mean, things
And
happened.
she's back.
and-
A pink take. Inappropriate.
When
So I take it we're talking to the warden Marta again?
In comments, sorry.
Oh, I was asking her.
yeah,
Uh,
we covered this. You have
yes.
2 personalities.
Huh. Okay, well, I need to go see the paper. And you see her, like, starting to go back to her office.
Hold
Wait,
up.
wait, wait,
Oh.
You
wait.
should have it in your hand.
Yeah, peace be upon you.
She looks at her hands, there's nothing there, reaches into her pocket, pulls out the paper. And she just sighs very heavily. Puts the paper back in her pocket and says, I need to make some arrangements. You guys are more than welcome to stay another night, but I do need to take off in the morning.
Hold 1 minute for me for a second. If my translations were correct, there are 2 chests in this room, and I point to the 2 chests. One of those seems to be a magical of some sort, where you're probably being provided with some kind of funding to help this place run, and I understand that, that's fine. But from my understanding of it is that is provided by blacks. So I don't know if that helps you understand what's going on here. And I think that may be where that key is missing from. And I really do, and I know I wasn't around for the conversation about the missing key, and I'm sorry for messaging you directly, but I suspected Valish. My friends tell me you went to go visit Valish, and you didn't say or do anything, but you somehow knew that he did not take the key, because that's my first suspicion. Because I did see it drop out of your desk drawer, and I thought about picking it up. I really should have, and I'm sorry for that. But I still suspect Valish has the key, and maybe he was hiding it, and I don't know what you did to know that he didn't have it, but that's where I'm at right now. That's where my story leads me to where I am at this point in time. I don't know if that helps you, Warden, but I'm trying to think of ways to help you with this situation, and I hope you understand we're trying to help you.
There's been a lot that has happened, and hello?
Excuse me for interrupting. Peace be upon you, brothers and sisters. I think I see a key sticking out from under the bed.
I will look for the key.
The warden looks at you and says, did you change your hair?
I did. Thank you for noticing.
He does this. He has phases, I think, from what I've seen.
He has more personalities than you do.
The warden goes over to her bed that Goin is just seated upon. Looks underneath and picks up a key ring. Looks up at Gwyn.
Is that the key ring that I saw drop earlier?
Yes.
Okay.
Looks up at Gwyn and says, I think you dropped this.
Me?
Looks around at the rest of the room.
Isn't that the key from your desk?
It would appear so, but how did it get here if it was at my desk?
We've covered this.
Is this
Yeah.
common, or can I understand it?
You can understand, yeah.
Okay.
You again, you're of two minds, and maybe Vlax picked up the key when it fell out of the desk and brought it in this room.
Wait. Do you think this could have anything to do with Baelish?
Valish. I
Maybe?
checked Valish, and I used my mage hand to search him, and there was nothing. He had nothing on him at all.
Well, he is sneaky.
Yeah.
There's no way I could have done this, and he hates me. So,
Pardon me for getting too engrossed in the details of your prison, but I assume there's some sort of magical barrier on the prison cells so that people can't whisk away.
Yeah.
So if he was stored in a prison cell, then he would not have had any magic abilities.
No.
Okay. So I think we can rule out Baelish.
I don't know that we can, because he's shown that he has a propensity for being able to cast things, especially sleep spells, may peace be upon him, and just walk right out of the place. So how are we to know he didn't
He
put a
wasn't in
bunch
his
of people to sleep,
cell.
go get
He
the
wasn't-
keys?
Yeah, he wasn't in his cell at the time. I think the fact that we came to visit him and they moved him into an open area may have been not protected.
And he would do his best to get our friend Gwen, may peace be upon her, in trouble because he hates her.
That is fair. He does seem to have a grudge.
He was quick to blame our group for the missing keys when we went to go ask him about them.
True. Yes, he said that we were thieves.
Well, that's all I say as well.
The warden looks around and it just kind of looks at each and every single one of you. Looks at Gwen and says, I'm
in like
sorry.
I'm in like a pondering pose while she looks at me, just like curious and trying to figure out, mulling over in my head what's going on.
I
sorry.
understand. I appreciate you and your finer details. It is important to bring people justice, so I can appreciate you for being thorough.
You do need to understand that in your position that you are in at the moment, it does not look good. I do apologize. What matters here is that we found my keys.
Yes, and if I can assist you in any way, I would be happy to help you.
The warden just kind of turns and she says, I do have some business that I need to take care of, and I do need to leave early in the morning. If you need to stay the night, you're more than welcome to, but I will be away, for a couple weeks.
Might I ask where you would be going?
Yes, I'm actually headed to, the Dwarven Fortress.
I hope you don't mind my saying so, but if this would be some attempt to get Brother Black's, peace be upon him, out of your head, that might not be the best idea right now.
Oh, why?
I also would remind you that you were friends. You're not, like, removing him from your head or your consciousness may be the final nail to his moving on. And I don't know if that's something that you want or maybe need.
I'm losing who I am. I can't properly be a harper and run this prison if I'm being overtaken by a warrior.
does your friend mean more to you than this prison?
I'm a harper. I'm here to do good. I lock away the bad and, carry out the deeds that need to be done to make sure that the rest of the land is safe.
What if you could both work together?
How?
We have dwarves, as you can see, who can communicate with Flax,
Mm-hmm.
and we may be able to come to an arrangement where you can still communicate with him and maintain your friendship without destroying his essence.
Does he need to stay in my head?
I don't know. I have no idea. There are magic. There are ways, and maybe this fortress that you're heading to might have an answer to that. Is this something we could go with you on this quest or adventure that you're going on to help you out in any way?
Give me 1 second. I could try to just live with it. The guard
Yes.
that's outside of my door, he is my trusted guard. He's been with me since my very first day here. Maybe he can help me out. Maybe he can speak with Vlax during all of this. I need to get this figured out. I need to go back to my office. You're more than welcome to come or stay. It's up to you. And she walks away.
Go in peace, Sister Ward.
She starts talking to the guard that's outside of her door. You guys can kind of hear it. She didn't close the door really. And so you guys can kind of overhear her saying like, oh, we need to talk. I could really use your help. And she goes into her office and sits at her desk. The other guard, the guard looks over at you all and it just kind of shrugs and steps into the office.
I will follow them.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I would love to stay in this room and look at everything.
You see her just going through like her desk and looking at some of the papers, and she sets down like a stack of papers, and on the stack of the papers you can tell that they're kind of like invoices and receipts, and she's going over them. And
I'm going to walk up to the desk
Mhm.
and I say, do you mind? And I'll just look at the paperwork and try to read what I can read.
By all
If
means.
not, okay. If not, I will step away, but I want to look at the papers.
So on the papers, you can tell that they're invoices to, some are to ship captains, for prisoner drop-offs. Others are to ship captains, that are dropping off some cargo, as well as a list of the cargo and how much stuff, or how much each of those items had costed. And at the very bottom of one of the papers, you can see that it's kind of like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like an inventory list, that says, cloak pin, and tiny harp.
Focusing on the cloak pin and the tiny harp, is that Is Valerian's name anywhere on that paper?
Is what, sorry?
Valerian's name anywhere on or around that paperwork?
Who's Valerian?
Flax.
No. Valesh.
Valish? No.
Valish. Okay.
No. And she quickly flips that paper over, and again, it's another invoice. It's more cargo and stuff like that. And she continues flipping through, and again, they're invoices, and she's still holding the key in her hand, and she sets it down on the desk, and she says, I need to speak with my guard. I think he can act as a medium between Vlax and myself so that we can make this work.
Do you think you can control it?
I have no control of...
And I mentioned, I'm looking at the guard too. Like, the guard knows this happens, so kind of maybe hoping he may be able to respond.
The guard looks at you and says, when this happens and she wakes up, she has no idea where she is or how she got here, and a lot of the time it's kind of sad to see her that way. Vlax is truly a really nice man. He just is very misunderstood, especially now that he is dead.
Well, he may not be dead. It's just his body may have passed along. It's interesting. We've got a conundrum here. Continue. Go on.
So yeah, she says, I don't want my friend's memory to go elsewhere. I've missed him for so many years. And, you know, this is all just very hard to take in. And then she starts flipping through her papers again, and she stops on one piece of paper, and she's reading over it, and you can tell that it's a conversation happening between the two different, I want to say personalities, but it's not. And at the top it says, like, thank you for saving me. And yeah, it's just like a conversation between the two, and she's you can see her reading it over, and she's confused, but at the same time she doesn't seem all that confused after reading it.
A conversation between her and
Vlax, yes.
Is it in Dwarvish? Or can Vlax write in common?
It is in Dwarvish, and you can tell that the Dwarvish has been translated for her to respond in common.
Oh, okay.
So if I see that, I'll point to it and I'll look at the card and I say, did you translate?
I did. And I have been. As he bends over and pulls open the bottom drawer of the desk and brings out a really large leather-bound book, opens it up, and as you can see, it is just a conversation happening between the two, with translation between each entry.
Okay, so out of character.
Yeah.
Like the warden knew about these, but has been hiding them from us.
No, she didn't know.
It's like
These
she
are just
forgets.
these are translations that she may not have seen.
No, okay, so she's seen them, but she didn't fully understand what it was. You have to keep in mind that she's
Okay.
running a prison, right? She's a very busy lady. This isn't something that she's constantly thinking about.
Okay. All right. I'm
And
catching
she's
on
clearly
here.
a little psycho. Maybe he's be upon her.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Yeah. And yeah, so you see that the conversations have been happening, and he kind of, the guard looks at the warden and is like, he looks at her and says, "I'm so sorry that I didn't explain these to you." And she says, I should know these." And he looks back at her and he says, "You should. But do you remember what happened when Valish got here?"
What happened when Raiders got here?
And the warden says, "I do." And she looks up and says, "He wiped memories when we were bringing him through and getting him freaking gosh and getting him through and set up within our system, and working and earning his keep here. He wiped memories before we could even get the rest of his stuff from him."
I say I know of these. I know of such a spell, but I am not capable of doing it at this time. That tells me a lot, actually.
She was sneaky. Maybe he's be upon it.
What the heck are you guys doing in campaign chat right now?
Nothing. Maybe he's be upon it.
Oh, geez,
Sorry.
Sorry.
Oh no.
Sorry, eh?
Oh no. And yeah, so the warden just, you see her reading more of the leather-bound book, and she kind of just like grabs her eyes and pinches the nose, and she says, like the top part of her nose, and she says, "This is a lot." And then she says, I forget why you guys are here."
We do too sometimes, but honestly, I think we were just sitting here. Who was it? The lady that sent us here knew something was going on. but didn't
Captain
know
Arla,
what.
guys.
Yeah, and they knew something was going on, didn't know what, just kind of wanted us to investigate it and see if we could figure it out.
Oh, you can't
What is
tell
your
her.
relationship with the captain?
She was a friend back in the day before I came here.
So she's not to know.
No.
So we're to say everything we saw was hunky dory out there at the prison.
I will. What do I need to do to get you guys to not tell?
I mean, I'm
gonna
not-
let one of the other party members answer that.
I at this point in time, I'm not going to inform anybody of anything. I don't know about anybody else. Because I'm mainly curious where this leads.
Yeah.
I said in the other room. Actually, did I say it in the other room or here? Whatever. I would be interested in going along with you to this on this journey that you were bound and determined to go to this dwarven fortress, and I would hate to see you go there to get rid of your friend. I think you both have some lost time, and if Valish was wiping your memory, I think there's some lost time there that was taken away from you.
I wouldn't be opposed to you coming. I don't have a lot to offer, as everything I have has gone into the prison.
Well, I believe your friend has been helping you as well.
Chest.
So
And see, that
there's still
could be...
some friendship, some friendship there that, you know, I would hate to see get lost.
I just want to go to the Dwarven Fortress to see if maybe there's a way we can bring Vlax out of my brain and have him here.
What if that means losing you?
I don't think so. If that's the case, then he can stay. But I really don't think that's gonna happen.
Okay, I wanted to understand your intentions.
I just want to go and have a chat and see if maybe we can get Vlax somewhere other than inside my brain so I can communicate with him.
This dwarven fortress, is it a relic of lost times, or is it somewhere that is dwarven and they may have people skilled enough to understand or know the situation? Is that, maybe fill me in on why you want to go to this fortress.
I asked Vlax where I needed to go to better understand, and he had written back that I need to go to Brawn Anvil Crypts.
Well, that sounds like a friendly place.
It's a dwarven fortress under Mount Hotenow.
So I look at the other dwarves and I say, is this something that's known to you? And they may need to do history or...
Yeah. Tink knows it.
So what does
I'll
Tink
let him
know?
fill us in.
What does Tink know about this place?
Tink knows that, if she goes there, that they will help her, either rid herself of Vlax or help her figure out, a way to get him out of her head and into something different.
So I'll relay to everybody,
yeah.
you know, that I do think they'll be able to help her. I'm not sure exactly how, but I know the knowledge is there for them to help her.
Well, it seems we have a journey. And I look at the rest of the group.
Yeah. I mean, we should probably see this through. People are noticing that something's up with the prison, so if we don't find some kind of resolution, then
It could get worse, yeah.
Yeah. Other people could come looking in.
Well, I plan on leaving this guard here in charge when I leave. I can't leave until the morning, as I do need to call the rest of my guards in to let them know that I will be away for a bit. You guys are more than welcome to stay in the rooms that you have been given previously. And we
Is there
can
like
head out.
an upgrade to the food level, or is it just standard prison fare?
Oh, she looks at her guard and says, "Get them the good stuff." And he just nods.
You bougie dwarf.
I thank you.
Well, it's anything's better than prison rule. I mean, thank you.
Eat
Thank
one of
you
your
very much.
rations.
Um, and yeah, so I will meet you at the rear door at first light.
All right, all right, all right.
Is that the one with the elevator?
No, that's the front.
The one we went in.
Okay.
Oh, the door.
So you guys are headed back to your rooms.
Yep.
Oh.
If I may, Sister Ward,
Yes.
not to disturb your peace or anything. I feel like you might actually try to leave us.
I will not. I will. If it makes you feel better, I can sleep in a room beside all of yours.
Well, worst case scenario, Lyrian, Tink knows where this place is.
Yeah, we could just go there.
Yeah, we could catch up, but I don't think she'll. I kind of got a feeling the dwarf will keep her here.
Doesn't seem like a flight risk.
Okay.
To me, at least.
So did you want me to sleep in a room down there, or can I sleep in my own bed tonight?
You can
Please
sleep in your own
bed in peace
Thank you.
and tranquility.
If there's anything else you need, there are guards stationed around your room. Feel free to ask them for anything that you may need.
I have an odd request.
Yes.
I would like to sleep not outside of Valish's cell, not that he knows that I am there, but in maybe an adjacent room downstream.
It's actually where our rooms are.
Oh, is it? Okay. I want to be in a position where if something hinky is going down, I will know about it. So if a guard leaves his post when he shouldn't be leaving, or if somebody comes into that area, I would like to be in a position where I am aware of that.
Okay.
I don't care to discuss anything with Baelish. I don't care that I care that he knows that I'm not there.
The guard standing beside the warden looks at you and says, "I have a place for you."
Very well. I tell the warden, I say, I still don't trust him, even though I know he's in a cell. I want to try to head off anything that might happen if he tries to do something. That's all I'm trying to do.
And yeah, that's fine. My guards can show you where to go.
Very well.
Alright, so you guys are all headed to your rooms.
Yep.
Okay,
Yes.
I will drag you here in a second. Tima, I'm just gonna put you there for a second. I will move you in a minute.
I don't know where I'm at. It's too dark. Alright, moved around.
And I'm gonna run for a bio while we're doing this.
Such a big map when you're zoomed all the way in.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to situate you guys into better rooms. What you doing, Tink?
Tink's working on some projects he's been thinking about. Trying to do some tinkering with his tools, whittling and stuff like that.
Mm.
Are you whittling a peace sign?
No, it is definitely not a peace sign.
What are you working on?
Oh, I was working on a possible upgrade to one of my guns. It's where we craft one of those, and that is roll 1 of 5, but I can only do that ever so often until it caps out.
Okay. Well,
I'll send it to you here in a bit.
yeah. Well, the rest of your journey happens next weekend.
All right.
Oh my.
Only because I need time to make a map.
Ah.
I was not prepared for you guys to want to go along with her.
Well, it is half an hour before we normally stop anyway, so.
True. That is true. Plus, it's the end of the day for you guys anyways, so it just works out perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
It's a lot more brainy an episode than than fighting, what it.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No, it was awesome.
I didn't really know where to go with.
Definitely did not. It's interesting. I mean, it's interesting to me. Don't get me wrong. It's not what I expected. Like, I'm still processing it in my head, like where this could go.
I assume you guys all expected to go in to this prison and end up in some kind of fight
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
with the
I'm glad
guards.
we didn't. To be honest, I don't know if I would have been ready for another one of those big ones.
I said to Decepticon beforehand, I was like, they're totally gonna think that I'm about to just choose violence.
I definitely thought that was on the menu.
It's okay. We almost got to kill Baelish. That would have been
Almost.
enough.
Oh, he's gonna die.
I can't wait.
May peace be upon him.
I'm sure you guys